Well, hello there. What are you doing here? I was a little bit too lazy to change anything about the audio, so you have to deal with crappy audio. I hope you can at least hear me. If not, well, not so well. I noticed some things. When I watched videos of my favorite YouTubers, there was a significant difference between their videos and mine. The biggest difference was they were far more visible on camera. Something I wasn't so willing to do so far. But I think I might want to change this. That is why we have this new setup attempt. So this could get interesting. But for the moment, we still have to work with what we had. Because everything that you will see in this 3-part series video already is done. I wasn't planning ahead. With that said, let's talk about the topic of today's video. The Netflix series Sandman. Normally, I would have been all over the place and totally in love with this series. But there is a problem, and this problem is called friendship. And when you have friends that are interested in something and start to hype it up as much as one friend of mine started to hype up Sandman, at least I refuse to have anything to do with it. I already know half of the story and yeah. But because her birthday was on its way and I was asked to make some table decorations with the theme of the Sandman or Sandman, and I was asked to do 4 things in particular. The first one that we will cover today is the very questionable designed mask. I really am confused by the design. But we will talk about it in the video. So, let's start. As a first step, you take some aluminium foil, crumble it into a ball, and then add to it until you reach a shape that resembles an egg. Because, let's face it, the headpiece of this mask is a mixture between an alien, a horse, and an egg. It's strange. But yeah, just crumble up some aluminium foil and you'll be good. To switch up things a little bit, you can now change your camera position, which gives you the benefit that first, people can see a bit more of the stuff you are doing, and second, you are able to show off your beautiful arm 90% of the time. Isn't that great? Yeah. While adding our first layer of Super Scalpy, I tried to get everything as smooth as possible. It's handcrafted, so some lumps and bumps are fine. I know there are perfectionists out there who wouldn't dare to end up with a product that like I have, but who has time for stuff like that? Am I right? No, I'm not. Then I decided to more or less sketch the design onto the egg that I had at this point, and made a template out of it. The template was quite easy. I took a piece of paper, put it on top of it, traced the lines, and ta-da! Template. Quite easy. Quite great. What a genius. I have so good ideas. No? Okay. Then I haven't good ideas. But it worked! Then it really was time to smooth out everything Because, yeah, I wanted a layer that looked at least as if everything had the same thickness. Later I found out it hadn't, but doesn't matter, it's on the inside, and let's face it, it's on the outside what counts. We all know that, don't we? I confuse myself today. What a great thing. So, after everything was halfway smooth, it looked like a horse, and I could take some more aluminium foil, crumble it, flatten it, put it on top, and roll it on with a rolling pin, because I wanted to get a texture similar to leather, because I think the mask is supposed to be leather. I'm not entirely sure, but that was the texture I gathered from the pictures I had. So, leather texture it was. Now that our base egg is done, it's time for some details. And here our templates come in handy. I just rolled out some more clay and traced the details or the templates onto them, cut it out, and placed it on the mask with some bacon bond. And of course, I sculpted it in a little bit so that it's not just slapped on top of it. Surprise! And from here it was only putting more details in. Pudding. Yeah. It was just finding the shapes in the original and trying to get the similar shapes into my version. Which meant for the eyes, for example, I rolled out another sheet of Super Sculpey and then cut out an oval, placed it, then a smaller oval, put a dome on top of it and placed it on top of the other oval. Always smoothing in the seams a little bit, and yeah, it turned out quite nice, I have to say. It reminded me more and more of the head of a horse or a weird horse mask that has to do with some activities that are quite adult, but doesn't matter. Yeah. But it went well. Yay me. To really nail the horse / bridle / holster aesthetic, the last details were very important. Honestly, if you put some hair on top of this piece, it looks like a horse. A strange horse, but a horse. I was quite amused, I have to say. But with the last details in place, it was time to bake this piece as far as it was, and then remove the aluminium foil and start with the part that is there to add the spine trunk thing. So the next very interesting aspect of this mask. After the aluminium foil was out, I noticed that some parts of the mask were quite thin, so I put in some of the Sculpey with a bit of bacon bond. Bacon. I seem to be hungry. I'm sorry. First pudding and then bacon. What a combi. Yes, with a bit of bacon bond, I reinforced the inside of the mask and then baked it again. And then it was time to make the piece that fits into the hole I left, to attach the spine, trunk, thing that makes no sense for me. Let's be honest, what is this mask? I am not sure. The friends that asked me to do it for the other friend called it a fetish mask, a kink mask. I don't know what it's in English. And I think it looks, like a horse with a spine trunk. So a weird horse-elephant hybrid. While I was working on it, I thought, okay, it could be meant to resemble this Japanese yokai that eats dreams. It has this trunk piece as well. But why it is a spine? Why is it a spine? And yes, maybe I could find the answers when I watch the series or read the comics, but no. Maybe sometime I will, but not at the moment. So I have to live with my questions, and you'll have to live with me asking these questions. If you feel particularly polite today, you can explain it to me in the comments, but please in a friendly manner. Don't tell me that I'm dumb or anything else. I don't want to hear it. I know I could find the answers if I would be willing to be more open and watch the series, but no. At the moment I still refuse everything that has to do with it, because as fun as the birthday was, another friend of this friend who is also insanely into Sandman, and don't get me wrong, great person, I really had fun with her, but everything I said was, I had to be careful because she was very protective of the series, which made me refuse it even more. I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is with me and this. Don't. I slightly know why I react like this. But I don't like this over-enthusiastic and having only this one topic left kind of mentality. So it may have to do with that. Or maybe I am just a very, very unfriendly and impatient person. That could be it also. But anyway, after the first spine part was done, I did the rest of them the same way, but smaller. Then gessoed the whole thing after it was baked, obviously. Painted the spine in a bone color, or a color that can be read as bone. You will see this color in the last video again, because it was mixed for the last video, and obviously this mask was the last thing I sculpted. Why obviously? Because I already have the color, and you know what I want to say. I don't show you what I did in order, I show it in an order that I thought was fine, so yay. This color already was done, then I painted the main thing, after that was dry, I painted all the details. All the details is a little bit too much. I made the eyes black and everything that was silver. Ooh. What kind of a surprise. The only thing that was a little bit annoying while painting was I glued a lot of tiny half beads onto the mask to stand in for the things that hold pieces like this together that you hammer in, and you know what I mean. I don't know how they are called. And I don't like to, or I don't want to pause now while I am in a flow of talking and find out how they are called. So, you have to deal with this explanation. Yeah, painting them was a little bit annoying, but in the end it paid off. And yes, they looked quite great, even, as I said, when they were just little half beats that I had laying around. So great to use stuff. And finally get some space. And not have to throw everything out. Yeah, doesn't matter. To finish everything off, I put on a wash. First a brown one, then a little bit of black on the mask. Then I glazed everything. And with that, the first part was done. When I compare this to the original, I do think it turned out quite nice. If I am allowed to say it this way. I like it. Even if I don't understand it, I like it. So, I hope you enjoyed this first video. There will be 2 others, and we will see us, hear us in another one. Until then, have a great time.